Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the third webinar of RGB Link Taiwan Pro. Glad to see you all. I'm Kathy. In last webinar, we introduced the two things applications of Taiwan Pro. Now let's review it together. I will sharing my screen for you. 主持人不允许共享。Sorry, wait a moment. The first application is a collaboration system. In this application, the main feature of the main feature is Taiwan Pro can replace the computer to do streaming on internet or cloud as pictures show. In collaboration, both areas use two decoder like MSP 326 to receive the IP signals for Paris and New York. The left MSP 326 received from New York Taiwan Pro RTMP IP signal and also as a signal for the Paris local Taiwan Pro show on the monitor or screen. The second application are remote education system. Based on Taiwan Pro record feature and streaming to different platforms like YouTube and TikTok, and so on to realize contents sharing for all students. And today we will focus on other features for Taiwan Pro Ethernet port to know how the NDI feature work on internet. Let us welcome Eric to share the NDI technology for us. Eric, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric from RGB Link Technique Support Team. And to make sure everyone can understand the NDI functions and with more professional knowledge. And in here today, I will share more information about, for example, like NDI, what NDI can do, and NDI development. And also, for example, like what is the future of the NDI? In here, you can see we have prepared a live demo for customer, like we have a Taiwan Pro router and with other computer. Later we'll do the live demo. So the first topic, let's talk NDI. Wait a moment, I will share my screen. Okay, and let's continue. In today, the NDI, the internet, in today, the internet have joined our life, and it joined our life for many years, and it's deep into our life, and also in the video processors industry, also the internet have joined this industry. In this industry, they have a new word. It's over IP. For example, like in traditional KVM. Now we have a new word, it's the KVM over IP. So the first question, what is the NDI? And to talk about what is the NDI, we need to know the definition first. NDI is an abbreviation of the New Tech Device Interface. And the NDI is a free protocol for the video over IP and developed by the New Tech company. NDI designed to allow the distribution of the live professional videos over existing IP infrastructure and freeing users from the hardware's constraints and give the benefit of the reduced cost and deployed time. So simply speaking, it's the audio and the videos encoding technology to convert the signals or convert all types of signals into the IP signal. And also the signal will be prepared on the internet for customer to load it or to catch the signals directly. And the purpose for the NDI is to make the video and the audios to offer the customer more faster and more easy to control, to use. In here, we have a roadmap for customers. Sorry, a roadmap for customers from the 2050. The NDI published on this year's, and it based on the HDMI265 compressed technology. And from this year, NDI can support the streaming features. On 2016, NDI 2.0 can support the discovery service according subnet feature. It means no matter what kinds of subnet you have used in your local network, it can be used or can be captured from this different subnet. In 2017, NDI 3.0 published, and it supports multi-case, and with one more very important feature is NDI have a separate into have device two parts. The first is the full NDI, and the other is NDI HX feature. It's two kinds of compressed technology for different customers. And in the 2019, the NDI 4.0 versions published. It means the NDI not only support 2K anymore, it can support up to 4K signal transition. And with the 4K and the 2K signal, new NDI 4.0 can support more lower bandwidth and more faster transitions speed. And in 2021, in this year, NDI 5.0 published. And the most important feature for the NDI 5.0 version is NDI can support the signal can be loaded or can be captured from the internet. It means the signal can be transmitted on the internet cloud and not only in your local network anymore. So this is a big change for the NDI 5.0. Before the NDI 5.0 version, both of them can be used only in local network. So please remember this difference. Actually, as we know from the 2019 to 2021, as follow the development of the internet, now the 4K have come into our life, and the customer needs more 4K signals. So in the market, they have more 4K device and 4K signals. So that is why NDI 4.0 were decided to publish a new versions. So we have a talk about the roadmap for the NDI, and the next question is what NDI can do, or what do NDI do for everyone? Actually, in NDI encode system, NDI have two parts. The first part is for the encoder, and the second part is for the decoder. So let's check the first encoder. NDI encoders can support make HDMI, SDIs, or other signal type converted into the IP signal, and it can bring it into your NDI network, and support to use the gigabytes network to send the video and the audio together with the higher or the superior image quality. It's better than the normal IP signals. And also it can convert your cameras or PDJ or webcams and component into the IP signals and make it available for all NDI decoders, not only software, but also with the NDI device, decoder device in the network. So to explain it more clear, please let me use the workflow to explain it. Now this is the NDI encodes workflow. In the left, for example, you have one PDJ on hand, and this PDJ with HDMI, SDI, USB, or even with RDSP, and it connects with the the encoder, for example, like our Taiwan Pro. It can change the encoder, well, convert them into NDI IP signals. Even it's the RDMP IP signal can be converted into the NDI system. And about for the decoder workflow, as we know in the traditional decoders, it needs a computer or PC with an application or app to accept, to receive the contents from the internet or from the other's router. But you can get the contents, you cannot do the addition because it's a real-time contents. You can do the additions. But for NDI system, the NDI decoders is get rid of these requirements, and it can realize the NDI signals can be ready or can be prepared in the routers for customer to loading or capture the signal directly. And not only NDI software on the PC's applications can capture the device, but also with the NDI decoders device that can load the capture and the contents together. It means software, NDI encoder software, decoder software and the NDI decoder device, both of them can capture or loading the signal from the internet together and at the same time. This is very important for the difference between NDI and others protocol. So the NDI have realized the contents sharing for all platforms. So, and with this information, you may ask, well, it's the NDI. So it means, well, the industry or will use the NDI technologies. As we know, most of the products or most of the technology have its encode ecosystem. The same to NDI. NDI also have its encode systems. For example, like in broadcasting industry. The broadcasting industry always looking for a more faster and more stable signal transmissions for the contents sharing or for the contents distribution. And the NDI encoder have become the best solutions for the broadcasting requirements. And also just like Taiwan Pro also is one of the best solutions for the NDI encoders. Because Taiwan Pro can convert the HDMI and the USB 3.0 and other interface change into and convert into the NDI 5.0 standards protocol. So you can enter based on the Taiwan Pro. You can enter the NDI encoder system faster than others. So let's check two of the application. And the first application is in the broadcasting or in the live event applications. As we know, all the signals need to do a long distance transmitting. So in traditional, most of them are use active transmissions. But with the NDI have used a different technology that to make the signal prepare and on the internet cloud. And if customer need it, or if others, different people need it, they can enter the NDI system and load it or capture the contents. It's not transmission, it's the capture. So this is the difference. Like the second application. In the market, they have a PPT to NDI OBS softwares. They can use as import the real-time PPT screens of the computer B and as a video source. And it means you can sharing the PowerPoint for different customer, and they can editing the contents in a real time and share with others. Okay, so with this information and application, the last question we may ask, why we choose NDI? What is the advantage of the NDI? Why we choose it? To know the reason, we need to check two parts. The first is in the physical connection, and the second is for the IP protocol, different IP protocol. Let's check the first part, physical connection. For the physical connection, we know in most in previous, most of cases have used a cable, just like a HDMI cable, SDI cable, or HDMI to DVI cable, or others cable. But as we know, both of them have a limited in the length. For example, like 3G SDI. We know the 3G SDI can support up to 120 meters only. And if you need more length and more distance, you have to select others solution. For example, like you have to select like HDBaseD and add one more HDBaseD and choose the fibers extender. And as we know, if you have used the extender will need two parts. The first is need a transmitter. Second, it need a receiver. So, for example, like in the fiber extender, in the middle, you have to choose the fiber. In the market, we all know the fiber or the SFP is very, very expensive than other cables. And if the fiber cable broken in the middle, it means the whole fiber cables cannot be used anymore. It cannot be repaired. And also, if in your applications, in your requirement, you have a 4K signal, then the length will be more short, will be reduced. Like if you have a 12G SDI signal, and the 12G SDI cable only can support up to 16 meters. And if you want to use 4K HDMI 2.0, the length will be more shorter. Like it can only up to 20 to 30 meters, and both of them can up to 20 meters only. But if you choose the LAN cable, it's quite a difference because the LAN cable have used the IP signals use a signal compressed technologies. It means you don't need transmitter or need the receivers anymore. And also, as we know, the NAND cable is quite cheaper than others cable like 4K HDMI, 12G SDI. Is quite cheaper than these kinds of physical cables. And also for different application and different signals resolution, one cable can drive from 2K to 4K because we have like Cat5, Cat5e, or the Cat6, like support from 2K to 4K, and also make the signal stable. The second, we were based on the IP protocol to analyze why the NDI have become the more important in the broadcasting and in our life. In the market, as we know, there have four main protocol. The first one is RTSP, and the second one RTMP, third one SRT, last one NDI. I guess the RTSP and RTMP is familiar to everyone. RTSP is a real-time streaming protocol based on the local network application and belongs to TCP and the IP system. But you know, the RTSP only support in the local network systems. They cannot transmit the contents or share the contents on the internet. And it also have a quite large latencies. In the RTMP is real-time messaging protocol based on the OneNet application. And for now, the RTMP is the main streaming protocol. And also RTMP support in the Taiwan Pro. But as we know, RTMP, the disadvantage for RTMP is the RTMP can only support from the platform to platform. For example, if you choose YouTube to do the RTMP, then YouTube have its own RTMP, and the signal can only share to the YouTube. And if you use the TikTok, the RTMP address will change again. It can not share the contents to different or to multiple platforms. So based on this situation, in the market, they have a new technology. It's the SRT. SRT is based on the RTMP, but it can support more lower latency and more lower bandwidth for different signals resolutions. And it also can offer a more higher or superior image quality. And the most important is SRT can offer the best data encryption. But with this technology, the market have a new requirement, and it make the NDI be published. The NDI is based on the RTSP. This is very important. NDI based on the RTSP, and it uses the H.265 compressed technology. This technology make the latency to be more lower, and make it can offer more higher or superior image quality than the SRT and then RTSP. And also the most important for the NDI is NDI signal or NDI contents can be shared, can be captured by different platforms. No matter you use the software or use the device, both of them can capture the NDI signal together or at the same time. This is very important. So NDI is designed for different platforms for the streaming. From the 2050s, the NDI have been published. So the broadcasting have choose the NDI to do the signal distribution and for the media's management. And that make the NDI have become the only IP protocols that accepted in the broadcasting industry. This is very important. And in this year, 2021, the NDI 5.0 have a new walls in the wall. And this wall is, the whole wall is your studio. It means the NDI have entered the internet and can share the contents on the internet, can be captured contents to different countries, different people, different customers. So this is the advantage, protocol advantage on the NDI, and why broadcasting have chosen the NDI to be the only one protocols that they accept. With this advantage, NDI technology also offer different software. For example, and both of the, for example, like the NDI Studios monitor, and this is for free. NDI have many tools, it's for free, and also some of them with need charge. Like the NDI Studio monitor is for free, and like the vMix software, vMix software is for charge, because as we know, the vMix is the first software media software that have a cooperate with the NDI from the NDI 1.0 version. The vMix have a cooperate with this. And in addition to this software, we also have like NDI OBS Studio and Resident Arena and NDI HX driver, NDI Screen Capture HX, and many other softwares. Then they just need to install this software, and you can do the decoder by the name from the router or from the internet directly. Okay, so just now we have a talk about many advantages for the NDI. So the last question we may ask, how to use the NDI functions? Okay, let's check one of the NDI workflows. In the left, we have one PTJ. The PTJ with HDMI, SDI, or USB, or even with the RTSP signal, RTSP interface. And it connects with the encoder. And the encoders, based on the encoder Ethernet port, it can prepare or can convert the signal into the NDI signal and be prepared in the router or in the internet network. And it offers two kinds of capture methods. The first, you can use the NDI software, decoder software to capture the contents from the internet or from the router. The second, you can use the NDI decoder device to capture the contents or capture the signal from the internet network and show the contents on the monitor or on your TV. But for this workflow, please make attention to this point. Only NDI 5.0, the latest NDI version, can support it. If you use the NDI 1.0, 2.0, or to 4.0, both of them cannot support to capture the contents or capture the NDI signals from the internet network. This is very important. Only NDI 5.0 support this feature. And here I have one more information like to share with us. It's the for NDI and NDI HX, because we have received this requirement and these questions from our customers. What is the difference between for NDI and NDI HX? What's the difference between them? Actually, to talk about the for NDI and the NDI HX, we need to do the definitions. First, for NDI. For NDI with a lower latency and the higher bandwidth to transmit the highest image quality. And the most important parameter of values is the latency. The for NDI latency is about 20 to 300 milliseconds. In most situation or in most cases, it can realize 50 to 100 milliseconds. And for this latency, it can be accepted by humans viewing. And also, if you choose Full HD, and the bandwidth would need about 90 to 180 megabytes. Also, if you choose the 4K, it will be more higher, it rise up, and to the 200 to 300 megabytes. About the NDI HX, because NDI HX uses the H.265 compressed technology, so it also with a higher compression and creating additional latency and requiring more composers powers go to the mixers or switcher. The NDI HX latency about 100 to 300 meters, and in most cases, it can realize 150 to 200 milliseconds is the best one. And also, but in here, the bandwidth is quite different. If you choose the NDI HX for the Full HD, it just needs 20 to 40 megabytes. And if you choose the 4K signal, Archer signals, it needs 80 to 160 megabytes. It's quite lower, the bandwidth quite lower than the for NDI. So use for NDI or use the NDI HX. How to choose it? Based on your bandwidth, based on your internet. Okay, so just now we have introduced the NDI feature and what is the development of the NDI and the NDI technology, many professional NDI technology. So the last one, we will check what RGB link, what NDI products RGB link can offer for you to your project, to your application. I guess the first one everyone is familiar to everyone. It's the Taiwan Pro. Taiwan Pro can with HDMI and USB 3.0 inputs. It means the Taiwan Pro can convert the HDMI signal or USB signal into the NDI signal, into the NDI signals. In here, let's have one more information for the Taiwan Pro. Taiwan Pro, the Ethernet can offer the NDI technology, and it's a NDI 5.0 version, the latest version, 5.0. So if you use the Taiwan Pro to do the encoder functions, it means you can enter the NDI encode systems right now and join this group more faster than others. And also, we have a news for everyone. RGB Link have become a member of the NDI. It's from this month, we have become a member of NDI. So in here, I'd like to share two more informations, two more values, advantage to use the Taiwan Pro for everyone. The first one is you can adapt, you can use the PDJ you have on your hand to do the converter, and the username you can use this device, for example, like PDJ, like other device that you can use the Taiwan Pro to convert it into the NDI 5.0 standard signals, and enter the NDI encode system without others additional cost. This is very important. The second advantage for Taiwan Pros for customer is you can use the Taiwan Pro to convert the USB camera or web camera, USB 3.0 into a NDI camera. For example, you can choose our Tiny. Tiny is a USB 3.0 device. And this device, you can connect with Taiwan Pro, and Taiwan Pro will convert it into the NDI camera too. Okay, this is two advantages for the Taiwan Pro in the NDIs for customers. But in here, they have one more very important things for everyone. As we know, Taiwan Pro have only one Ethernet port on the left side, on the right side. Does it can realize two kinds of protocol at the same time for customer? And the answer is not, because if you choose the last webinar, we have introduced the RTMP. So in the Taiwan Pro, if you choose RTMP protocol on the internet output, then the NDI will be shut down. And if you choose the NDI, the RTMP protocol will be shut down. You can choose only one of it. This is very important. Okay, now let's check how to use or how to setting the NDI in the Taiwan Pro. First, we just need to click on the setting icon in left button, on the right button, and it will pop out a Windows. In this setting pop-out windows, you can select NDI and change the status into on. And then the icon near to the settings icon will change into NDI. And then you can see in the NDI setting page, they have two selections on the output. You can choose for NDI or choose the NDI HX. Both of them can be supported in the Taiwan Pro. So how to choose it? NDI, for NDI, or the NDI HX? Just based on your internet capacity. Okay. Then I will share one of the video for everyone to check how to set it. And later after the videos, Johnson will share the content, share the live demo for everyone to do the NDI settings for everyone. Okay, let's check the first video.
Hi, this is a Taiwan Pro demo video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to decode the NDI content from Taiwan Pro output. There are two ways to decode the NDI. The first one is to decode NDI in the software, and the other one is to decode the NDI via an NDI decoder devices. First, let's check how to make it work with the software. Here is the setup of the NDI system. The connection is quite simple here. The Taiwan Pro HDMI input is connected to my laptop, and we need to connect the Taiwan Pro network output to a switch via NAT cable, where another laptop is also connected here. Now we need to configure network output on Taiwan Pro. First, we need to enter the system setting and turn on the NDI encoding. Now we can see the icons here has been entered
without the voice.
And
Let me check it.
Icon. And this is the NDI setting interface. These are all the default settings. And then we need to confirm.
Okay. And let's
now
repeat.
The Taiwan Pro will start the NDI encoding. Hi. This is a Taiwan Pro demo video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to decode the NDI content from Taiwan Pro output. There are two ways to decode the NDI. The first one is to decode NDI in the software, and the other one is to decode the NDI via an NDI decoder devices. First, let's check how to make it work with the software. Here is the setup of the NDI system. The connection is quite simple here. The Taiwan Pro HDMI input is connected to my laptop, and we need to connect the Taiwan Pro network output to a switch via NAT cable, where another laptop is also connected here. Now we need to configure network output on Taiwan Pro. First, we need to enter the system setting and turn on the NDI encoding. Now we can see the icons here has been changed to NDI, and we need to click this icon. And this is the NDI setting interface. These are all the default settings, and then we need to confirm. Now the Taiwan Pro will start the NDI encoding. Then we need to open NDI software on another laptop, search the NDI source over the network. Click this icon and select RGB link, and select RGB link NDI. Okay, now we can see the output content from Taiwan Pro in the software. They are all displaying the same content. This is the whole NDI system. Next part, we are going to introduce the hardware decoding. Here is another setup similar to last one. We just changed another laptop to an NDI decoder and a monitor. The LAN port of the decoder is connected to a switch, and the HDMI output is connected to the monitor. When we finish the NDI setting on Taiwan Pro, the decoder will detect the NDI source on Taiwan Pro. Now we can see the monitor is displaying the same content as the NDI source. Okay, this is all the demo for Taiwan Pro's NDI feature.
Okay, just now we have showing the videos about how to use the NDI in the Taiwan Pro. And now let's welcome Johnson to show how to setting the NDI on the Taiwan Pro in the live demo. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Eric, for your excellent instruction about the NDI technology. And we've learned so much today about the NDI. And hi, I'm Johnson, and nice to see you again. Later, I will give you a short demo, live demo about the NDI settings on Taiwan Pro and how to make the whole NDI system work. Well, first, let's check the connection first. Here, to better understand how the system works, we just built a simple platform. Here, we only need three things. One is my laptop, and the other one is a router, and another one is Taiwan Pro. And as we can see on Taiwan Pro, the HDMI input is connected to a signal, and you can monitor the signal on the screen. It's displaying and monitoring the signal. And the network output from the Taiwan Pro is connected to a router. Also, my laptop is connected to the router as well. So yes, this is the connection. It's quite simple. And the only thing we have to make sure that the Taiwan Pro and my laptop is on the same network segment. Okay, then let's check the NDI settings on the Taiwan Pro. And let me move my camera to the Taiwan Pro so that you can see clear. Okay, it's done. And we can see here. Now there is an NDI logo here. And if there's this logo, it means that the NDI feature function is on. We can find this function on the menu, system settings. You can turn it off. When you turn it off, you will go back to the RTMP streaming. And when you turn it on, yes, you go back to NDI encoding. Okay, so now this is the first step of the setting. And then let's get into the NDI setting page. Here, click this NDI icon. Okay, here you can see all the parameters about the NDI output. You can set it. Here, I just let it be the default value, and then I click confirm. Okay, so now I suppose the settings on Taiwan Pro is done. It's quite simple. Also, you can change the different parameters you want in the setting page. Okay, and then let's move to let's move to the interface of my laptop. I will show you the NDI decoding software to show you how to capture the signal from the Taiwan Pro over the network. Here you can see I downloaded the NDI decoding software on my laptop, and when you open it, you can see many options to support the NDI feature. Here we only need to select the studio monitor. It can help you monitor all the NDI signals over the network. Let's click this option, and we pop up the window. Yes, this window is the monitor window. Without selecting anything, you can see the display has been displaying the content from Taiwan Pro. This is the default interface. When you enter this interface, you can see there are different options over the network, different NDI sources. If we can see there is an RGB link option here. It means the output from the Taiwan Pro. and select this option. Yeah, okay. So this is the signal we captured from the Taiwan Pro. Yeah, so this is quite simple here. We've done that successfully to capture the signal from Taiwan Pro over the network. So this is how NDI works. Compared to the traditional encoding technology, streaming technology, for example, like RTMP, RTSP, NDI make the streaming much more easy and high quality. You can see, and it's also is not like the point-to-point streaming. It's like a point to multi-point streaming. So this is really amazing. Okay, so this is how the simple NDI system works. And okay, my demo is over. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Johnson. Okay, thank you for Johnson's introduction and the live demos for everyone. Now we know how to use the Taiwan Pro and use the converter function like HDMI in and Ethernet output to the router and then to the NDI's to us. And this is the decoder software for the NDI. In RGB Link, we have not only just have the Taiwan Pro, we also have the NDI PDJ. Just like the picture you can see, it's the NDI PDJ. For the NDI PDJ, we also have a from the Full HD to the 4K signals. Both of them can be supported in RGB. And just for example, like our NDI signal, it uses the Sony's commands, and also with the 12x and the 20x on the NAMs. So if you are interested in the NDI's technology or you want to know more information about RGB Link NDI solution, you can search the content search on the websites. http://www.rgblink.com, the NDI. On this website, you can search and you can find more information about the NDI technology or NDI solution from RGB Link to customers. Okay, then let's enter the Q&A section. Anyone have questions on the NDI technology or on the Taiwan Pro? Let's check the box. You can write down your message or write down your questions on the message box, on the chat box. Okay, the first question is NDI based on the H.265 or H.264. JC answer is based on the H.265, but for the NDI HX, this NDI is based on the H.265, H.264. Okay. For camera. The second question, for camera connected to Taiwan Pro RTSP, what materials to be used? Taiwan Pro have a support HDMI 1.3 input or USB 3.0 input. HDMI 1.3 input or USB 3.0 input is for cameras connected to Taiwan Pro to RTSP. And Taiwan Pro support HDMI 1.3 input or USB 3.0 input for camera convert to Taiwan Pro, but could not support RTSP input. So where is the network switcher required for NDI applications? And we recommend customer to choose the gigabyte router for NDI application because NDI have need a higher or large capacity on the bandwidth. So we suggest customer to choose the gigabyte. And the question is, Taiwan Pro needs internet to connect, right? The answer is Taiwan Pro needs to connect to network router. And if you would like to use the NDI or streaming functions by RTMP, then you need to connect on the internet. Tau have a slot card theme. Actually, the answer Taiwan Pro does not have the SIM card. We recognize to use an external router with the SIM card slot, or can connect with the mobile USB Wi-Fi SIM cards built in. That SIM card have a built-in. Next question. Or connect your router is with a cable. Yes, connect cable is need a name cable, but sometimes if you can use the wireless router, and the wireless router can install or build in the 4G SIM card or 5G SIM card, and then we don't need other cable. This wireless router will offer internet to Taiwan Pro. Next question, if Taiwan Pro can stream directly via internet, why still need the NDI decoder software? Okay, the answer, if you use Taiwan Pro to do the streaming on the platform like YouTube, then the output is connected with the internet, and you can share the contents to YouTube directly. That is use the RTMP. But if you want to share the contents and the content can be captured on different device or the software, then you need to choose the NDI function, NDI feature. And for NDI feature, we know we have an encoder, then it must need decoder. So we have a NDI decoder software, and also in the market, it have a NDI decoder device. The next question, can you show how to control PTZ? Control PTZ and how stored presets, and how you can achieve presets. Actually, Taiwan Pro do not support to control the PTZ but it can support to control the ePTZ by Bluetooth. For example, you can control our Tiny by the Bluetooth. It don't support the how to say that, VSCA over IP. Taiwan Pro don't have a VSCA over IP controlled protocol, only Bluetooth controlled. Okay, any other question? Okay, the next question is how does it work Bluetooth? And I'm sorry, we didn't prepare the tiny and prepare the tooth list to control the PDJ, but we have take operation videos for customer. And could you contact with our sales? And can you write down your emails that we can send you the Dropbox link? You can check the Dropbox link with the video, how to use the tool list to control the ePDJ or control the timing. If you would like to use Taiwan Pro as NDI encoder, then you need to have an NDI decoder to get a Taiwan Pro as a content player. NDI decoder can be software and also can be hardware. Both of them can be support and can be capture contents at the same time. Okay, any other question? And if you still have any other questions, you can contact with our customer. Sorry, we can contact with our sales. And with these communication methods, you can contact with our sales or with our local distributor, and we will answer your questions as soon as possible. And yes, about the backpack, we have a backpack. And you can see here, this is our backpack. And you can install the Mini Pro and Taiwan Pro in this backpack. About the wireless, if you use the backpack for the outside application or outdoor application, we suggest you or recognize you to choose and use the wireless router. And the wireless router were built in 4G or 5G SIM cards. Okay, then we will end the webinar soon. Any question, just contact with our sales and contact with our local distributor. Thank you for everyone joining. Thank you. And see you next time. Next webinar, we will talk about the Taiwan Pro rotations application. Thank you. See you next time.